You're listening to the Lowdown Show, The Next.
Mamma mia!
Your NXT review and discussion show.
We are NXT!
Right here on the No Holds Bar Network. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 5 of the Lowdown Show, The Next, right here on the No Holds Bar Network, your source for Raw, SmackDown Live, and NXT reviews and discussions every single week, right here on Spreaker, Spreaker.com/NHBWP, guys. It's free to make a profile, free to make an account, lets you chat with us live when we're doing our live shows. And you can listen to all previous episodes of the podcast as well. So go check us out on there. We're also available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, everywhere and wherever is easier and convenient for you to listen to us. You can follow the show, the Lowdown Show, The Next, on Twitter at Lowdown Show NXT. You can also follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. And you can follow my co-host at Michael Chow TV as well. As always, I am your host, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined right here on the Lowdown Show, The Next, by my co-host. He is the host that runs the West Coast, Hollywood, Michael Chow.
Ha, we're here. We did it, baby. Third time's the charm. For those of you who don't know, or for those of you who were actually really, if you're one of the listeners who were listening earlier to one of our canceled flubbing right now, but only because we had to restart this show a couple of times because we kept getting kicked off. So I don't know whether it's the government trying to kick us off because of the whole Saudi Arabia thing, but hey, we have nothing to do with that event.
Yeah, we're not going over there. Don't worry.
We're not going over there.
We're going to be smart about this one. We're going to stay here. If they don't want us to go over there, we'll listen. My God, what a shit show. Like, really? Stuff's happening over there, and everybody's like, nah, we'll be okay. We'll be all right.
As far as I know, I've been hearing all these stories about how the U.S. government is asking the WWE not to go over there or to delay this event. And I'm hearing all these stories about how the talent are very nervous about how several of them don't even want to go. And last I heard, WWE is like, yep, it's still on. We're going.
I mean,
we're going. We don't care.
I wouldn't want to go either. I don't blame them. Yeah, like, it's all about, and sad, it's all about the money. Vince McMahon knows it's all about the money.
And we must crown a World Cup, the first ever World Cup champion, right?
Yeah. Speaking of that, I know you. I see what you did there, WWE. I see what you did there. Steal my idea, my 2K17 idea. I did that on 2K17. You know, they're scouring YouTube looking for ideas, and they said, oh, let's go pick on this guy who's got 14 views on this video. He won't care. We'll steal his idea. He can't do shit. He only had 14 views. We're about to get millions. They don't care. They stole my idea. They won't admit it, but they stole my idea.
Well, maybe if they're nice about it, the least they could do is invite you all the way to Saudi Arabia to take this incredible event in, man. Right? You'll go, right?
I think I might stay. I think I might stay. I'm just gonna say I'll stay.
All right, fair enough.
What a mess, man. Like, it's just like it's getting to a point now. It's like, what the hell? Like, you sit back and you just say, like, what the hell? Like, what else is there to say? But like, what the fuck? Like, why are they so pushy towards going to Saudi Arabia? And now, if they're at a point now and you don't believe that WWE is willing to sacrifice the product for money, then you are truly, honestly blind and have no idea what the fuck is going on. Mm-hmm. If you sit there and still think that WWE cares about the product they're putting on TV that's getting the lowest ratings ever, by the way, and it's not all about the money, it's all about the money. 100%.
I gotta be honest. I've been watching wrestling for over 20 years. I have never ever heard the U.S. government actually asking the WWE not to hold an event. Never heard. I've never heard that before. Never actually heard of the U.S. government actually stepping in and trying to interfere in WWE. So, man, I mean, all I can say is, number one, I'm not going to watch, but that has nothing to do with what's going on in Saudi Arabia. And number two, I hope all our pro wrestlers and everyone involved with the WWE get there safe and come back here safe. And this is the honest opinion. This is not me trying to make fun of the situation. I really hope they get there safe and come home safe. So.
It's bad. Like, why is the event even really necessary right now? Well, oh, it's a return of DX. Ooh, it's so necessary. We have to do this. No, you don't.
But they're having the first ever CM Punk World Cup to crown the best in the world. By the way, best in the world, and the only people qualified are all white people. You know, I'm not trying to say anything, but yeah, best in the world. Okay, everyone is from the United States.
I don't understand this World Cup. Like, Michael, I don't understand what makes it a World Cup. Aren't the 4 people that have qualified so far all from the United States?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And by the way, Bunny Ears here qualified. There's one guy who didn't have to qualify based on his accomplishments in the WWE. One guy advanced all the way to Saudi Arabia without having a match based off his resume. So according to this, Kurt Angle's resume means jack shit. Forget everything Kurt Angle's done. John Cena, he's going all the way to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that was John Cena? I honestly thought it was JBL. Are you sure it was John Cena?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be. I think they fooled me.
No, come on. He's gonna come out on that level. You know the ding 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 ding.
Yeah, that ain't John Cena though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I see a lot of people calling for Cena to come back as Word Life Cena for SmackDown 1000.
Well, at least Thugonomics John Cena actually appeared on SmackDown, unlike Evolution, who's never, ever, ever appeared on SmackDown, by the way.
I think at this point, Thugonomics John Cena with looking that old would look really weird. It's like a 45-year-old dad trying to like fit in with the hip crowd, so he dresses like his son. You know what I mean? Like at that point, it's like when Kurt Angle. There's that picture of Kurt Angle when he was dressed as the Shield, and the meme was like when your dad dresses like you for Halloween, and wants to go trick or treating. So, interesting. Quickly to the live chat, guys. If you guys don't know what the live chat, it's on Spreaker. Like I said in the intro, Spreaker is a glorious podcast app. You can download on any Android or Apple devices. Free to make a profile. Free to chat with us live on the air. We got Cuba Girl 125, one of our loyal fans. What's going on, Cuba Girl 125? And Tiffany, who's in Manhattan with some people having drinks, and she's intoxicated. Well, get home safe, Tiffany. Get home safe.
Oh, why didn't Tiffany just go to WWE New York? Oh, wait, that's right. That freaking...
Do you remember that?
Went out of business. I do remember that. No, because all the way back in the day, I used to thought the concept was so cool because people could go to a bar and watch the pay-per-views for free. I always wish, because I lived in California, I'm like, why couldn't there be a bar in my city where I could go watch the pay-per-view for free and drink and eat? But it didn't happen. And that was a good stuff. And people who weren't involved in the pay-per-view, superstars would actually go down to the restaurant. So I always thought it was a good idea. I don't know why.
Yeah, wasn't Stacy Keibler was like the correspondent who always like would report from WWE New York? I'm pretty sure it was Keibler. I think so. I think it was Keibler. Anyways, yeah, messy situation, whatever. I don't know what the hell's going to go down. I just hope that everybody does a smart decision here. Now, if the reports are true, like we don't know if they're true, again, when we hear reports like this, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't just sit here and believe everything you read. But if the wrestlers are indeed scared for their lives to go over and don't want to go over, I think WWE should do the smart decision here and cancel it. I don't understand why they have to rush a pay-per-view anyways. That's literally 5 days after the groundbreaking all-women's pay-per-view. You're just literally going to be taking everything around like away from that. Mm-hmm. So,
I totally agree. I mean, they make it sound this isn't like WCW or ECW. It's not like if they don't have the event, they're pretty much bankrupt and the business is going down the gutter.
It's funny you say that. It's just they're making it sound like it's WrestleMania and they have to have it or else it's just going to ruin everything.
And they were literally in Saudi Arabia a couple of months ago. They make it sound like this is the end of the relationship. Like,
tell me you can't just have it. You can't just tell me you can't just have like a special edition Raw.
Yeah.
Do like a 5-hour. A 5-hour Raw.
Oh God. Well, no, because at least you can have the
oh
the
man.
show now.
Oh, I would not be tuning in for that. 100% would not be tuning in for a 5-hour Raw. You couldn't even get me to tune in for 10 minutes, especially nowadays. My God. I'll watch SmackDown 1000. I'll say that it should be interesting. The return of Rey Mysterio when he's facing Shinsuke. I mean, I have no.
Oh, we're actually getting people from the world involved in this World Cup?
Well, hang on a sec. Like I always have hope when they announce a good match. I just have to wait and see it because that's the difference right now with NXT and WWE, Michael. When they announce a good match, you know it's going to be good. You know, you don't have to go into it going, "Oh, I think it might be bad," or "I'm going to have to check it out." That's what I feel like with the main roster when they announce these like good dream matches. It's like I can't get hyped for it because they've ruined dream matches for the past 3 years. So I can't get hyped for a Shinsuke Rey Mysterio because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to book it.
I'm very curious on how this is going to go out because honestly, if Shinsuke wins, then if you feel kind of bad because this is Rey Mysterio's first match back in the company. If Shinsuke loses, then this is another wrestler who's not part of the new era that's advancing in the tournament. Because as of right now, everyone involved in the tournament is not one of the what I would call one of the new era wrestlers.
Well,
right?
Can you blame them? Like they're going to Saudi Arabia where that's probably the only wrestlers they know. They won't know who the hell Shinsuke Nakamura is. They won't know who a Samoa Joe is, or they might know an AJ Styles. They're not going to know. It's stupid.
I don't know about the wrestling fandom because I actually saw the Saudi Arabia event. Oh my gosh, the fan reaction was so bad. It's almost as though they didn't know who these wrestlers were. And if I remember correctly, I think that the king of Saudi Arabia specifically requested getting Ultimate Warrior and Andre the Giant on the card. And I'm like, okay, these guys aren't alive anymore, but okay, just kind of prove.
That's what I mean, Mr. Prince Boy over there. Saying he's going to pay The Rock $20 million to show up. Like, he's not saying he's paying AJ Styles $20 million to show up. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's he and they're building this World Cup already with old people from like the Ruthless Aggression era and the Attitude era. So, it is what it is. Whatever. It's a big mess. Big goddamn mess. You know what else not big? You know what's not a big mess, Michael?
WWE Evolution.
So far, I have small hope for it, but this is not a big mess, and that's right. That bell sound we just heard right now, that means it's time to stop talking about the main roster. We're talking about the A brand. That is NXT with the NXT chants raining down upon us, Michael. And like I said before, that is not a big mess because we got really, really good main event this week. I know there are some people out there were shitting on that triple threat match. Don't know what your mindset was in shitting on that main event match. I think you might need to, retool the way you think about wrestling. That's all I'm going to say about that. But this episode of NXT was pretty decent.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it felt really short, but it must have been pretty much. Hey, when things are good, things go by fast. Mm-hmm. Unlike a show where things stretch out for way too long, you're wondering, number one, you either go to the bathroom. Number two, you fall asleep while watching it. Or number three, you question your own life on why the hell do I keep watching this show.
This is true.
Not NXT.
I would question my life. I question it when I see Roman Reigns on 8 segments of show, and he's in segments that have nothing to do with him. I'm just saying, we'll get into. It's one thing, Michael. We always say. It's like, why isn't WWE kind of mimic some stuff they do from NXT? Why don't they, try to, they see how successful it's doing and how much attention it gets. Why don't they, try some new stuff? Because obviously, whatever they're trying on Monday Night Raw is not working if they're getting the lowest ratings in history. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I got some news about that later on when we get to total news about main roster and NXT. Really funny news.
Oh boy.
This was getting episode of NXT highlighted by the Unreal announced triple threat match for the North American Championship. Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole versus Ricochet. Take my fucking money now match of the year. Oh my god. When they announced that, I was done. I fainted maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's very refreshing when a champion defends his title and not wrapped up in a freaking group or constantly has these tag team matches that go nowhere. You know what I mean? I love NXT.
That, yeah, and you get that that sense. You're like, oh, what if Pete Dunne actually wins the championship here and he holds both belts? Like, you imagine him trying to fit both belts in his mouth? Like, that'd be interesting. But yeah, very, very good highlighted match. But when we got in the intro of NXT, like the beginning was my favorite part. The promo we got was amazing. We started off with Tommaso Ciampa, and I love his new theme song. It's growing on me every single time I hear it, Michael. I think it suits him. I know we get the whole Taz vibe at the beginning of his theme song. But it's good. It really does suit him. And again, he's out there promoting, talking about his theme song. Like, Tommaso Ciampa is just such a good fucking heel. He is so good at what he does. And the way he gets the crowd to shit on him is just perfect, man. Another guy that's like that in the main roster you can compare him to is Samoa Joe, obviously. The Miz is an ultimate heel. Although Miz is getting a lot of cheers now because he's getting it from the crowd that respects him and that's been literally following him his whole career and knows what he's done to get to this point and appreciate how good of a heel he is. So he's kind of SOL with that. But Ciampa's a good heel.
Now I'm a little bit confused because why don't the fans cheer for Roman Reigns to appreciate the great heel that he is? Right?
Because we don't know we don't know what the fuck he is, and B, they're not trying to push him as a heel.
Oh, what? Okay.
No, we know if he was a heel or not. They won't because he's a face of the company. The face of the company can never be a heel. It's just facts. It's literally straight up facts. John Cena was never a heel. He was the face of the company up until now. Roman Reigns will never be a heel. For all those thinking that, Roman Reigns will be better if he turned heel, it's a matter of time before they turn him heel. Oh, they should turn him heel here. He will never turn heel. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I've lost hope on him becoming a heel long ago. He's not becoming a heel. If you're thinking he's becoming a heel, you need to lose that thought right away. He ain't becoming a heel, ever. It's just the way it is. That's the way the main roster functions, with the face of the company. It's a shame, because look at how NXT functions, Michael. Who's the face of NXT?
I don't know. They don't push anyone where it's like, this is the guy, and this guy.
At the moment, it's Tommaso Ciampa. At the moment, it's Tommaso Ciampa. Or you can argue with an Adam Cole. When it's Aleister Black, he's here. Yeah, he's probably going to be the face when he's back. Because that's what it kind of was like when he was here. But look, NXT does it, like, does two things. Like, they try it, and look, it works. So the face of NXT right now is Tommaso Ciampa. He is the face, and he's a heel, and it works. You don't have people complaining online, why they pushing Ciampa so much, he's a heel, blah, 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 blah. No. They're trying it out. It's working. That's why there's a big difference between the main roster and NXT. NXT tries new things and end up working. WWE main roster sticks to their formulaic garbage, and it doesn't work. And they never change. Anyways. Intro was awesome. You got Tommaso Ciampa still talking about his theme song and ripping on the crowd. Then he starts bringing up how Velveteen Dream is bringing up his name in the whole Aleister Black attack situation. And Velveteen Dream doesn't wait, man. He comes right out here and gets back into Tommaso Ciampa's face. And the promo these two guys had this week was hilarious. If you guys did not see it, go back and watch it. This was probably one of the greatest promos of the year between these two, and it was so short. It was short. It was great. You laughed. It made you laugh, and it made you also get invested into both guys. And then they give us this big swerve, Michael. They just give us this big ultimate swerve, like you weren't expecting that to happen. Please tell me you weren't. There was nowhere in the back of my mind that I knew that Nikki Cross was coming out here. I don't think you.
For a minute there, I thought that Sanity was coming back, because we haven't seen him on SmackDown for a long time, and just for a minute, I thought either Eric Young or Alexander Wolf or what's the third guy again? The big guy?
Killian Dane.
Killing Dane. I thought they were coming back. But then for some reason, Nikki Cross. Where is this going? But I gotta tell you, it's not like this is so out of here. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. This doesn't work. I was literally invested. I was a little bit curious, and I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Right, and it took me for a swerve. That's for sure. Quickly the chat. Brainy Lynn joined the chat. Brandy. What's going on, Brandy? Anyways, yeah. So it took me for a swerve. So she comes out, and she's acting all psycho-ish, obviously. And what she does with this promo was perfect, Michael. So good. She's just looking at both and goes, I know what you did. I know. Like, just acting so psycho-ish. Tommaso Ciampa's about to talk at one point, and she just slaps the mic, like, right out of his hand. It's just like she has no chill. She's just straight up, just bam, done. And then she, like, crawls onto the ground and starts talking into the mic while it's on the ground. Like, this, the way she, like the way she does her character is amazing. It is amazing. And I think it's really, really good work. And the way they're investing it into this story, I'm liking it. It's different. It's very, very different. For one, you're looking at, okay, Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa for the title is obviously going to be the next match, but then you also got the Aleister Black side of it coming in with the attacker, and you got Nikki Cross factor who somehow knows, but then she knows, it's like she knows what Ciampa did, and then she goes over and says it to Velveteen Dream, and then she does it to Cassius Ohno. Like, there's something, I love this story. The work and the investment they're putting into this Aleister Black storyline is amazing. And it just gets you thinking more and more every single week. And I loved when, Nikki Cross was, like, doing it to Velveteen Dream. He's just like, ugh. And he's like, get out of the ring. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm had enough of this.
I really like this segment. And, you know, it's for her to say, I know a secret. And then the look on Tommaso Ciampa's face, he looks worried. And the reaction on Velveteen Dream's face, he looks worried. And then later on, she does the same exact thing to Cassius Ohno, and he looks worried. So I'm like, what is going on here? If you know you didn't do it, why would you look nervous? You know what I mean? It's like, you know you didn't attack Aleister Black unless you have something to hide, or whether you did do it, or if you're a part of a team of people who did do it. So it's like, you can't play it off as though Velveteen Dream, oh, he's not taking this serious, so he obviously didn't do it. Cassius Ohno, he's brushing this off, he didn't do it. Tommaso Ciampa, oh, he looks worried, so he definitely did it. No, it's all three guys are worried. All three guys look like they have something to hide when Nikki brings it up. And I'm like, I'm really looking forward to a reveal, because I'm like, why are all three of these guys looking nervous unless they all took part in it? Or I don't know. It's either one of them, all three of them, or just none of them. I'm really invested in the storyline, but if I can be completely honest, it's stretching a little bit long, so they really need to reveal who the attacker is soon.
I think they're waiting for the all clear from Aleister Black. I think we're about to get it. I think we're about to get the revelation soon. And also, do you remember, like, not even a month ago, remember who everyone thought it was any of these guys? A month ago, a lot of people were saying it was Lars Sullivan. Remember? Because he was in the background there. And everyone's like, oh, it's got to be Lars. They have a history, blah, 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 blah. I'm still sticking to it, man. I honestly still think it was only Tommaso Ciampa. I think maybe Velveteen Dream saw it and could have said something, and that's why Nikki Cross saying, I know what you did. You didn't tell the truth. You didn't come out and say it was Ciampa right away. Like, you hid from it, and maybe somehow Cassius Ohno was there. Maybe Cassius Ohno backed up a car into him and didn't see, right? Like, and he ran away or something. Like, just got you thinking. I like it, man. I love it.
I'm going to go with the obvious choice and saying it's Rikishi again, that he probably drove in and, ran him over, and he's going to come out here and said, I did it.
Yeah, we all know he did it.
People.
And he did it for The Rock. And that's when you hear The Rock's music playing. He comes down NXT Ramnod. Never going to happen. Rock will never be in NXT. You imagine that Rock in NXT.
Well, I mean, if NXT wants to pay The Rock $21 million to appear in NXT, he'll do it, right? That's $1 million
Regal,
more than
man.
what Saudi Arabia.
Mr. Eagle, head up that UK bank account, see what you can pull out.
There you go.
Anyways, really good opening segment to NXT. I thought it was good. I don't think anything else happened. I'm trying because NXT, I was kind of paying attention after that and doing notes and stuff for the show. So I don't remember if anything in the middle of the show happened. So I don't think anything happened really. We had Keith Lee and my boy The Finest. Hey, come on now, everybody.
By the way, your boy is on
He
a
got
huge
eaten by Keith
losing
Lee.
streak.
But hey, whoa. I'm going to hold you right there. Let's think here, everybody, before you go and judge my boy Finest for his losing streak. Who was on a losing streak when he first entered NXT and was used as the guy to put everybody over? I think it was a former NXT champion. Oh yes, and then we added a manager to revitalize his career. Now he's the talk of the town. Yes, Andre Cien Almas. This is exactly how he started, and now look where he is today. So I want to tell all y'all haters of The Finest, you watch when this guy becomes NXT champion. I want to hear from you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All I want to hear from you guys is, I'm sorry, you were right.
I will officially apologize once I see Kona Reeves win the 2020 Royal Rumble and see Dwayne The Rock Johnson raise his hand.
Oh my God.
It's going to be beautiful. 2020, be there.
He's the guy, I'm happy. I don't care if he's got a losing streak. It doesn't matter to me. He's the guy that's used right now to put them over, and he's got the gimmick to do it. He's this cocky, I'm the finest crap. Like, I'm the finest person in NXT. I would wear the finest stuff. You're nothing. And he does that. He does that on purpose to put the other people over. And look, it worked this week when he faced Keith Lee. The crowd was so behind Keith Lee. You put the finest up against people like this to put them over. That's what he's there to do.
I'll admit, I've been becoming... well, I wouldn't say more of a fan, but I've been hating less on Kona Reeves. I only make fun because I know Kyle loves the guy. So There you go. So yeah.
Hang on, people in the chat. I didn't say this guy needs a manager. I'm just saying, Cien Almas, this was his role when he first started in NXT. This is Finest's beginning of NXT. This is his role. I kid you not. When he gets better, I really don't want to hear from you guys. I really don't want to hear it. Anyways. He did it with his job. Keith Lee, he put Keith Lee over. Keith Lee with the win here. I don't know if I'm sold on this whole bask in his glory thing either. I don't know. To me, when I see it, Michael, I'm just like, it's almost like he's trying to be like Bobby Roode, but he's trying too hard. Yeah, so I don't know how to feel about it.
It's bask in his glory and limitless. Pick one. You know what I mean? It's like, what is it? Is it limitless or
he's like a Bobby Roode and Mark Henry mashup.
Mm-hmm. Mark Henry's sexual chocolate.
No, when Mark Henry near the end of his career, when he would come back as a heel one time and then come back as a babyface, like kind of like Big Show does. Like Big Show comes back as either a heel or a babyface. We don't know until he comes back.
Well, he did come back. He came back last week.
I don't care.
I'm sorry, this week.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Anyways, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how to feel about it yet. I know Keith Lee's a good wrestler. He's athletic for a big guy. I'm not sold on the whole bask in his glory thing, though.
He needs a major match, and this is nothing against Kona Reeves, but he really needs an opponent to really test his limits. So I have a little bit. I think I have a little bit for what's next or what's next section, but we'll wait until we get there.
Right. So I'm assuming that, there was nothing after this, I'm pretty sure. We just went right to the main event. I think I remember it because I looked up and I'm like, wait a minute, what time is it? Like 25 after. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are going to get like a full half-hour match. So we got the main event, North American Championship. We had Ricochet, Pete Dunne, Adam Cole. Man, did I ever think that all three teams would get involved somehow? We didn't. That was my prediction going into this match, that all three teams would have their teammates get involved with set up war games. We didn't. NXT showed us what a true triple threat match needs to be like and how it should end. This was top notch. Michael. Very job, well done. And I'm not sitting here saying, for all you people that take my words out of context, because I know you do, I'm not saying this is the greatest triple threat match ever made. I'm not saying this is better than anything else, and this is match of the year. This was just a very well done triple threat match. They did it. They did everything right. We had great spots. We had a make sense ending with the retain of the championship. They made us think like there were so many points near the end of the match where we thought it was either Pete Dunne or Adam Cole might actually walk out with the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I think they did a good job in this match. That's my initial thought here.
I'm like you. I seriously thought someone was going to interfere. We weren't going to get a definite winner here, but yeah, it was great. I love the way the match ended because Ricochet. I like it sometimes where regular moves kind of finish the match because we usually don't see Ricochet win with that pop-up 450 splash. We usually see him do his 630 splash, right? Yeah,
I think it's a 630 really splash. Yeah, double rotation movesaw, and then he hits the back at the end. Yeah, 630.
So yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was a great way to end the show. I really loved this match. One of the best triple threat matches I've seen in a long time, NXT and main roster. So it was great.
It was good. And you can tell, watching the triple threat, it told also the story of what led to this. What with Pete Dunne helping Ricochet with help with the Undisputed Era, but then he's also looking at that North American Championship, and also told the story of Adam Cole trying to reclaim and becoming a 2-time North American Championship, right? So, or North American champion. So I love the way they incorporated that. There was so much that went on in the match too, so many good spots, and some people were shitting on it, saying it looked too choreographed. I'm sorry if this match came out looking like the Bellas and botching every other time. Did we really think would it really even be a good match? It would be stupid. What? What do you mean? What does that mean? Too choreographed?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. What part are they talking about that looks too staged? I mean, because there were actually a couple of moments in here where they kind of botched the moves. I think toward the end, if you saw it, was it Ricochet kind of botched that reverse Hurricanrana?
Yeah.
And yeah, I seriously thought Pete Dunne was injured, but no. I mean, even that 450 pop-up splash kind of looked a little bit sloppy, but I don't know which part looked too staged. I
think just a lot of people are just sour and don't like this wrestling. It caters to a different audience. It's a niche audience. Like, if people don't like it, then don't watch it. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I don't like Monday Night Raw right now. It's catering to a different audience, so I don't watch it. If you're watching NXT right now and you don't like the way they're doing these matches, then don't watch it. It's simple as that. I know you. It's I don't know what else to say. I don't see where people have their opinions. It is what it is, right? People have their opinions. That's fine. Which I don't understand it. I don't see where it's too staged. You look at you compare it to maybe a main roster match, and you watch a good main roster match. I could say the same thing, like, oh, they didn't botch it all. It looked way choreographed. Well, duh. That's what wrestling is.
Exactly. I can guarantee you guys right now, and this is like nothing negative, but I can guarantee you that all of Ronda Rousey's matches are choreographed to the last spot. Okay? Only because, and she's been doing really good.
This isn't the UFC. This isn't something that
exactly.
that just happens off the top of people's heads and there's strategy behind it. This is the WWE. This is wrestling. This is how it works. There's no freelance wrestling out there, and that's what that is. That's what the UFC. And if you enjoy that more, go watch UFC then. Like, I just don't understand why people have to shit on it.
And these three wrestlers have wrestled each other before, so as far as saying it looks too staged, it might just be like they worked with each other before, and they're just basically doing moves that they already know that they performed with each other, but.
I don't like when people go out and say, like, on social media and stuff, Michael. It's like, it drives me nuts because I don't sit here and I'm not sitting here watching Raw and judging it and writing it all over social media. I'm not doing that. Like, all I say, even here on the show, is I don't enjoy what they do on Raw. I don't like how they storytell, and I don't like how they produce their shows, so I don't watch. I don't sit here and say, oh, this move and that move on that show because they did the move wrong. I hate it because of them. and they don't know how to wrestle. They should wrestle like this, and they should wrestle like people on NXT. I don't say that. I just say I enjoy what I see at NXT more than what I see on the main roster, because it caters to the type of audience, which is us, and what we like. I don't understand. If you don't like it, then don't watch it.
Absolutely. I'm still confused on what the people online are saying is two-stage. I don't get it. I mean, I'm not trying to break the fourth wall, but guys, these wrestling matches, they are staged, okay? And I don't understand what is two-staged, but it's, I mean, am I getting this incorrectly? Is wrestling real? Is all of this actually happening?
If it is, then fuck, man. And someone didn't wake me up 20 years ago. Anyways, yeah, really good ending to NXT. It made sense. I loved how, like you said, how Ricochet won with a basic move. I love when NXT does stuff like that. So good for them for doing something like that, and we got to retain. But this isn't over between the three. Again, it's looking more and more like this is setting up War Games, and it's just a matter of time now. We're almost a month away from War Games, so can't wait for the next couple episodes, Michael. Can't wait.
And next week we got what they are promoting as a double main event.
Exactly. We have the Undisputed Era versus War Raiders for the Tag Team Championships. And this is maybe that'll be the match where they all get involved. You know what? Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they all get involved here, and that's where Regal comes out and announces the War Game match. And the other main event of is it Nikki Cross against Bianca Belair?
It is, and I talked about this last week. I really wanted this to have a stipulation in it, because obviously the last match they had ended in no contest, but I really wanted this to be like a street fight or something, because, they're promoting it as one of the main events, and it's just a regular match. So, the other match has a title on the line, but this match is just Nikki Cross versus Bianca Belair.
Oh,
What's
Michael,
the difference between this? Yeah,
we can't label it first time ever anything, because apparently they forget that in the main roster. Anything we do first time ever, apparently it's a first time ever in the main roster all of a sudden. I don't know if anyone catched it, but when Paige announced the first ever Iron Woman match between Becky Lynch and was it an Iron Woman match? No,
it was a last
woman standing match. When she said first ever, no, the first ever women's one was in NXT with Asuka and Nikki Cross. But we're made to forget that. And that was one of the matches of the year. So, Datila dropping in the chat just to say, hi, what's going on, Datila? But she has a dance to attend to. I hope you have fun tonight, girl. Anyways, yeah. So, that.
I'm still waiting for NXT to copy the main roster and go Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Last time ever. Come on, guys. You got to copy what the main roster is doing.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's good. That's happening. It's going to happen. Maybe not. Probably not. Anyways. So, with that being ended in the review for the NXT this week, it follows always by Who's Next, What's Next. So let's get into that segment, ladies and gentlemen, and exactly what its title, and it cleverly spelled NXT. Who's Next, What's Next. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Who's Next, What's Next, ladies and gentlemen. The segment of the show where we go over who's next, who's going to be the MVP and the jobber of this week's episode of NXT, and what's next for certain superstars. We talk about what will be their next feud, and we give predictions on that as well. So this is going to be an interesting one, because my Who's Next are very interesting picks this week, Michael. But my What's Next, just because it was such a short episode of NXT, it's tough to say. So I'm going to leave that to you and what you think. And I know you have a prediction for what's going to happen with Keith Lee going forward. So, Michael, what's next, cleverly spelled NXT, for Keith Lee?
So I don't know whether you saw it, but they actually had a video, a NXT Fallout, where Keith Lee basically says that, he put down Kona Reeves and, how he's limitless and basking in his glory. But now he says he wants a shot at the NXT Championship. So, hey, he made the challenge. And Tommaso Ciampa, he needs people to wrestle up until NXT TakeOver War Games. So I believe what's next for Keith Lee is he will have a TV match against Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. I predict it's going to end in DQ because the person who's going to attack Keith Lee is going to be none other than, and I did tell Kyle, Keith Lee needs to be challenged. And he's going to be attacked by none other than Lars Sullivan. This is going to be a huge match. It would test Keith Lee on what he could do. And I feel like it's going to be Keith Lee versus Lars Sullivan at NXT War Games. Because as of right now, Lars Sullivan, assuming that his feud is over with EC3, he really doesn't have anything for him right now. So
right.
I would love to see Keith Lee versus Lars Sullivan, big guy against big guy. So, yeah, that's what I think is next for Keith Lee.
I love that prediction. I can actually see that happening. The only thing I have a problem with is not with your prediction at all. It's how these. I know Keith Lee is a big name from the Indies. Well, not really a big name, but he's a name out there. It's like I don't like when they do stuff that puts the mid card titles on the back burner. You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't he be going for the mid title first and build his way up to the championship? Like, why is he automatically saying like, oh, I want the top title? Why are you taking anything away from North American Championship that right now currently there are superstars that are bigger than you in terms of, rankings that are fighting for it? You know what I mean? It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't really kind of make sense. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, to be fair, he beat Kona Reeves, so that credibility alone allows him to go after the NXT championship.
Was Kona Reeves a Sin Cara of NXT?
Yes, he is. He sets the bar high for the NXT championship. He sets the bar on who's Tommaso Ciampa challenging next. So there you go.
But that's good. I also love the Lars Sullivan thing. That's actually a smart idea.
Well, to be honest, I think the reason why Keith Lee wouldn't go for the North American Championship is because it seems like Ricochet is already kind of in a feud with Pete Dunne and Adam Cole, and they don't want Keith Lee to get mixed up in that. So Tommaso Ciampa, he needs someone to wrestle. Keith Lee needs something to do, so they'll just throw him in there.
All right, so let's get into who's next. And who's next to be my MVP this week, and the Jobber and Michael will have his too. My MVP this week, actually, don't laugh, Michael, is going to go to my boy, the finest, Kona Reeves. And I know he should be in the Jobber category, but no, this is what I was saying earlier. I give him the MVP this week because I see what his role is going to be from now on, and I will applaud him for that. And not a lot of wrestlers out there, because there's a lot of wrestlers like, and I'm talking kayfabe here, that their egos are so high that they don't want to be that type of guy, right? They join the NXT or they join the WWE. They don't want to be the guy that's used to put over talent. They want to be the guy that gets put over. So I applaud Kona Reeves for adapting that role and still going out and making his character work. I love his theme song. I give him the MVP for going over and putting Keith Lee over this week. So my MVP this week is going to my boy, the finest, Kona Reeves. So who's next for your MVP, Michael?
Oh, man. If I could just talk about Kona Reeves, he has everything that could potentially make him a superstar. He has the look, definitely has the height. Wrestling ability, not bad. With a little bit of training, he can get a lot better.
That's why he's in NXT. It's quote-unquote the developmental brand. He's obviously working the Performance Center when he's not doing tapings. So, hey, give him a chance. We got to give him a chance, guys. Give him a chance.
I will give him a chance. For you, I will give him a chance.
Thank you.
I believe, honestly, I could see Kona Reeves doing possibly either a Carlito-type character or even with his whole getup with all this fine jewelry and everything, I can imagine him possibly doing maybe like a Miz gimmick. You know what I mean? Like he's a type of celebrity and he has all this gold. And I could picture, honestly, Kona Reeves having his own segment like Miz TV. So... It's all up to Kona Reeves. When you're in NXT, honestly, the upper management want to see what type of character you can develop and what you can do with your character. They're not here to hold your hand the entire way. They want to make sure that you can, when you get sent up to the main roster, can make it on your own. So the ball is in Kona Reeves' court, and he just needs to think of ideas to improve his character and, make stuff happen. So I look forward to seeing what Kona Reeves is going to do. I really do. So.
And he's only 26, so still young. Still got a lot of potential in front of him. So we'll see.
There you go.
But who are you giving your MVP? Who's next MVP for you?
Well, I was going to say it's pretty obvious, but you already took my choice of Kona Reeves. So I'm going to go with the other obvious pick.
All right.
It's got to go to Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and Adam Cole. What an amazing performance, amazing match. And I can't believe, if you had told me, Kyle, that this triple threat match was for the NXT main championship, I would have been like, yup, these guys deserve to be in the main event. These guys deserve to be fighting for the main title. But to say that they're fighting for what they consider the middle title, North American Championship, unreal. Unreal. I love all three of these guys, and I can picture them being huge stars for the NXT Championship and huge stars once they go up to the main roster. So good luck to all three.
And I hate to sound like I'm pumping someone's tires here, but he's my boy. But Ricochet has the potential, and he could literally be another AJ Styles. I think with a little bit of more mic work, you got a guy like Ricochet who's got the same athleticism, even if not better than AJ Styles. Yes, I'm going that far. And he's got the charisma, he's got the entrance. The guy is just insane in the ring. Like, he's exactly what Mauro Ranallo said. He's a cheat code. He is literally a cheat code. Like, the guy can just do anything. And he's got the crowd behind him. The crowd was literally behind Ricochet. Out of all three of them, I was shocked because Adam Cole was in this match. The crowd was so behind Ricochet throughout this entire match. So the guy has the potential to be another top guy in the company. What I got for the news later, it's going to be really tough to see if he gets called up and where he ends up. But again, props to Ricochet for that, and it's a good MVP, Michael. Really good choice with all three of them. As for who's next in the jobber category, I couldn't pick anyone this week because there's really nothing that stood out jobber-wise. If I can give it to someone, if I had to think of something off the top of my head, was exactly what you told me with the, Keith Lee asking for a main title shot. I think maybe you should be asking for the mid-card title just to bring some credibility to it. But I really don't have a jobber for this week.
I'm also the same. We didn't get that many matches this week, and no one actually did that terrible to make it into our jobber category for this week. So I'm going to go with no one.
Right.
There might be weeks where we don't pick someone.
Exactly.
There might not be anyone. There might be an actual bad episode of NXT where we go, no one deserves the MVP for the week, and we just go straight to the jobbers. But yeah, this week I thought everyone did okay. Even Kona Reeves and Keith Lee, no one did that bad.
So let's get into the next part of the show. And before we get to the main event of our show, and that is the NXT Spotlight, we're going to do a quick news segment, guys, and that is NXT Total News. That's right, I brought the theme song just for Michael Chow, the Simon System theme song for NXT Total News. And guys, we got some interesting and a very interesting top news for today on the show. And I'll get right into it right now, guys. The first heading today, PWInsider.com is reporting that former Ring of Honor TV champion Punishment Martinez has signed with the WWE. Now he is slated to start shortly at the Performance Center in Orlando and Florida to begin training and eventually be used on the NXT brand. Whether or not he'll be keeping the name, that is something to wait and see. Martinez finished up his ROH on the most recent TV taping in Las Vegas because he opted not to sign a new deal with the promotion. So, not really sure about Punch Martinez. I have to go back and watch some footage around him, but he is NXT bound, coming over to the A show.
They should honestly. Everyone should be going to NXT. I mean, we've had some exceptions like AJ Styles, the Club, And I think the very last person who skipped NXT and went straight to the main roster was Mike Kanellis. I think, honestly, they should all go to NXT first. Even AJ Styles in the club and them. I know they're good enough to skip it, but I feel like NXT should be the place where they go first and then go up to the main roster.
Yeah, and I guess Cubagirl125 knows who it is. So she loves him. So I'm going to have to check and do a background check on him, Cubagirl125, and we'll talk some Punishment Martinez. But yes, he is on his way to NXT. So it'll take a while, though, because obviously when you come from the indies, you have to go through the WWE process and wrestle the way they want you to wrestle and, you know, the way you tell the story and all that stuff. So we'll see him quite soon, hopefully. Dave Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Matt Bloom, Steve Corino, and none other than Michael P.S. Hayes are the people that are in charge of NXT live events. Here's the breakdown. Matt Bloom runs the show near Orlando. So they always have 2 live events a night. I don't know if a lot of people notice that. There's one usually somewhere in the States, and there's another one that's always in Florida. That's the one that Matt Bloom runs. Steve Corino runs the show in Florida that are farther from Orlando due to Matt Bloom's main job being running the Performance Center. And outside Florida tours, Michael Hayes is the one that decides which talent works those shows. Believe it or not. So that's very interesting. Just a little rundown of what the live events and how they go down. WWE has announced that, and this is a shout out to our boy Craig Messy on the Lowdown Show NXT, UK. WWE has announced that NXT UK TV series is going to premiere on the WWE Network next week on October 17th. This means that there will be a block of programming on Wednesday nights starting with 205 Live, NXT, Mae Classic, and then now NXT UK. A former press release is being issued shortly. WWE first made the announcement on Twitter saying, breaking NXT UK, a weekly episodic series featuring the greatest male and female competitors from the UK will be streaming on the WWE Network on Wednesdays beginning October 17th at 8 p.m. This is going to be interesting. So, how this is going to go down, I'm thinking, is 7 o'clock, 205 Live, 8 o'clock, NXT UK, 9 o'clock, regular NXT, and then 10 o'clock, the Mae Young Classic. So, until that's done, a huge block of shows every Wednesday night, man. As of right now, I'm going to say it for the time being, Wednesdays are for wrestling. Yes, I went there. Anyways, more news here. More NXT names are expected to be backstage at the WWE Evolution pay-per-view, and it has been confirmed by PW Insider, is reporting that Bianca Belair, Lo Cherie, Jessamine Duke, and Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Marina Shafir will all be there at the WWE Evolution pay-per-view. As of this writing, there's no word yet if WWE will use them or use these talents in the show, but there's always a possible way of doing it by booking a battle royal at the WWE Evolution pay-per-view for them to be a part of. So,
well, you know how big that is, right? Naomi's been doing great since winning her battle royale at WrestleMania.
Oh, I forgot it even happened.
Oh, yeah. But honestly, for the other 2 female wrestlers, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, I feel like they're going to be involved in an angle with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey.
And that's what that battle royal comes into play. They can throw people off saying, "Oh, they just wanted to test them out in a battle royal. They're not going to do anything else." But then, shocking behold, they'll be at ringside for some reason watching. And you can have and you have like Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte at ringside watching from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Do you think possibly that they could possibly get involved in either Ronda Rousey's match or Shayna Baszler's match?
Maybe both.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Get some news here on NXT expanding. Dave Meltzer's reporting in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Triple H and WWE officials are looking to expand talent on the NXT brand. The reason is due to all the added revenue coming in from the new TV deals. This would include both international performance centers and territories. This would lead to the company being more aggressive when it comes to signing talent. It is also being reported that there had been talk internally once again of expanding NXT TV to a 2-hour program on the network. The reason for this is potential change is due to the amount of talent under contract currently. Also, there has been a speculation on a 90-minute show on splitting NXT into 2 one-hour shows if 1 hour gets a spot on a regular TV network. Interesting.
I can imagine maybe an hour and a half show.
Yeah. Keep it simple. You don't want it too long, right? Like SmackDown's 2 hours is not too long, but sometimes there's some episodes of SmackDown that kind of are a little dry because it's not that it's too long. It's just like you can tell when they're trying to fill the 2 hours. So, anyways, before we get to the spotlight, let's get to the big story today, and that's this doesn't shock me. This really doesn't shock me. I found it funny when I seen it come out once again. But Michael, Vince McMahon does not watch NXT.
What?
Yes, everyone out there, you heard it right. Vince McMahon does not watch NXT. And yes, those are crickets. You hear it. Because it's duh. But let me read this to you. WWE's developmental system, quote-unquote, NXT, which has essentially turned into a third brand for the company, has really thrived over the years. Triple H's innovation to mold the top WWE stars of tomorrow has produced some of the superstars wrestling fans are seeing today on TV. Those include Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and more. Triple H has shown extreme promise in that when Vince McMahon finally hands over the creative reins to the game, there will be a little to no fear. Recently, Triple H took part in a conference call in the UK to talk about several professional wrestling topics. One question the WWE COO was asked was whether or not Vince McMahon watches NXT. He responded by saying he's not sure if Vince has ever watched a full episode from start to finish of the program. He's simply too busy. And this is a quote from Triple H. I don't know that he's ever watched a full episode of NXT start to finish. He's busy. With that being said, former WWE writer Tom Casello took to Twitter and clarified, I know I shouldn't even respond to this kind of garbage, but I've literally been in the gorilla position with Vince during an NXT show. This is completely false. So I don't know if that guy is just covering for Vince or... I mean, Triple H is saying one thing, and he's a guy that's more closer to Vince than a former WWE writer. Maybe this writer was in the gorilla position with Vince in NXT before it was good, but now that it's actually good because Triple H has full control, I highly doubt he's watched a whole episode of NXT.
Is this the reason why Velveteen Dream never got called up? Because Vince never saw his pants. He doesn't watch NXT. He never saw his pants to call him up. Aw, okay.
Yeah. But now that the news is over, quickly before we get into the spotlight, guys, we are going to do a cheap plug, and that's a cheap plug to our sponsors. ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com, guys. They specialize in MMA and pro wrestling apparel. They also have collectibles and now Halloween costumes, believe it or not. So you want to go dressed as Roman Reigns, John Cena, whoever you want to be. Go over to their website and check out their stuff, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. And as an added bonus, you can use the code NOHOLDS at checkout. Please use this checkout code so we can know how many people are using it. And you're going to save 10% on your order every single time at ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com. So, guys, go check them out, ExtremeWrestlingShirts.com, with an extra perfect 10% off your order. You're not going to want to miss that, guys. Anyways, guys, get into the main event of our show, and that is the NXT Spotlight, where Michael Chow, the co-host of the show, takes over, and we go over whether this former NXT talent who's made the jump to the main roster will get a promotion or a demotion. So our Spotlight superstar this week is none other than Tyler Breeze.
Look, everyone, it's Tyler!
Is
where we, of course, what Kyle just talked about, we're going to talk about a former talent who used to be in NXT, who's now since gone, moved up to the main roster, and we're going to go over the history. And we're going to judge based on their accomplishments, things that they've done. Maybe perhaps they've been involved in main events. Maybe they've been given several title shots, or maybe they become several champions in NXT or on the main roster. And at the end, we are going to judge whether they deserve a promotion, whether they've done better since being in the main roster, or a demotion where, man, oh man, they should just stayed where they are. So this week concentrates on the Fashionista, Tyler Breeze, and Kyle, feel free to chime in anytime you want.
Alrighty.
Every great story has a beginning, so let's go ahead and start all the way at the beginning. Now, of course, guys, I had to cut it down into probably just main, important stuff that has happened in these wrestlers' timeline from NXT and going to the main roster. If I list everything that they did, we would be here forever. And guys, I have a lot of notes here. You guys can't see it. I have 4 pages of notes, so I'm going to try and go over it real fast. So it's going to start from NXT, so even if this wrestler had been there before, which Tyler Breeze has, anything before that, as far as FCW, OVW, and whatnot, I'm going to talk about. We're going to start straight from NXT, and let's go ahead and get it on the way. So, Kyle, December 2010, Matthias Clement signs with the WWE. Love the name. If you think that name is great, well, Kyle, check this out. June 20th, 2012, Clement, under the name Mike Dalton, formerly known as Matt Clements, formerly known as Mike McGrath. Several name changes here.
Oh my God.
And let's see. He joined the company he signed with WWE in 2010. And June 2012 is when he would start on NXT. That's 2 years, and this guy has changed his name 3 times. Wow. So there you go. So here we go. So Mike Dalton, which he is now going by, makes his NXT debut in a losing effort, teaming with CJ Parker, if you remember that guy, against the Ascension, Victor and Connor, back when the Ascension were cool. August 1st, 2012, Dalton gains his first NXT victory, now teaming with Jason Jordan to defeat... I'm sorry, Jason Jordan Angle, teaming with him to defeat, if you can remember these guys, Kyle, the team of Hunico and Camacho in tag team match. Yeah, I wonder what happened to those guys.
I don't know.
In the beginning of 2013, Dalton had not received much attention. He has not received much critically acclaim from the NXT fans. And he was informed by upper management that in order to stay with the company, he needed to develop a new character that worked. Otherwise, his contract would not be extended. So, oh boy, he's in a little bit of trouble here, Kyle. July 24th, 2013, the birth of the Runway. Shoot, if you still got the theme music, play it right now, Kyle, because the birth of the Runway, Dalton now re-debuts under the new name of Tyler Breeze, an egotistical, pretty boy who's obsessed with taking selfies. And Breeze has since mentioned in interviews that he came up with the character himself, while Triple H came up with the idea to use selfies in order to appeal to today's fan.
I actually didn't know that. It's a good fact.
Okay, Breeze scores his first NXT TV victory under the new gimmick with a win over CJ Parker on September 2013. So the first guy he would ever tag with is now he's got to beat him in order to be credible and to move on. On February 2014, Breeze faces Xavier Woods at NXT TakeOver. NXT Arrival. The event, which is called NXT Arrival. But both men were randomly attacked by Alexander Rusev before the match could even start. So there you go. His first major NXT event, and the match doesn't even go through.
My God.
There you go. Alexander Rusev. Whatever happened to him? On May 8, 2014, Breeze participates in a number 1 contendership over the Top World Battle Royale. But the match would end, and not a 1, and not a 2, but a 3-way tie with Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd. Kidd would then win a triple threat match the next week to secure the number 1 contendership match. So Tyler Breeze now getting involved in these main events and number 1 contendership matches, Kyle. So things seem to be going pretty well for Tyler Breeze.
Wow, I a little bit of an up here. We'll see how it goes from here.
On May 29, 2014, at the first ever inaugural NXT TakeOver. So this will be the first TakeOver. Breeze would defeat Sami Zayn in a number 1 contendership match. Breeze would then go on to lose to Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship after disqualification because Tyson Kidd would be involved in this match. So
now, this was the time when NXT was starting to turn, and turn heads and starting to get good. This was around the same area. Like, I know it was good too when like Jinder and Rollins were going at it a little bit before. But this was the time where I started investing. It started turning my head, going, "Oh, what's going on over here?"
Absolutely, and Tyler Breeze was involved in it. Tyler Breeze getting a lot of chances here. Okay, and as a result of the interference from Tyson Kidd, Breeze would then be booked into a fatal 4-way match for the NXT Championship against Adrian Neville, the champion, Tyson Kidd, and Sami Zayn at the event. NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, and this would coincide with the WWE event, WWE Fatal 4-Way, if you remember that pay-per-view, Kyle. I think they only had it one time.
Yep. Horrible pay-per-view. Horrible.
2 matches that were Fatal 4-Way. Did they even need this gimmick pay-per-view? Yikes.
Right.
September 8th, Tyler Breeze makes a small main roster debut to promote NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, and I actually remember this because I did not watch NXT back then, and seeing these guys, I didn't know who these guys were, but to promote their match at NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, all 4 men would appear on Monday Night Raw in a tag team match. Tyler Breeze teaming up with Tyson Kidd against Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn. Do you remember this match, Kyle?
Vaguely. I here and there. It's. I think I've seen a couple. It's a match I didn't finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like I said, I didn't watch NXT back then, so I didn't know who. I did not know who any of these guys were except for Tyson Kidd, because of course Tyson Kidd was on the main roster before, and he was going back and forth between the main roster and NXT. But I remember being very impressed, and I was like, oh, wow, looks like NXT. I think this is the part where I started to get a little bit of interest in NXT, because back then I always saw it as that reality competition show. You remember that, where they were had nothing to do with wrestling?
Yep.
Yeah, no one was. Yikes. But yeah. Let's see here. Did I get everything? Okay, so January 21st, 2015, Breeze loses to Hideo Itami in the first round of the NXT Championship number 1 contendership tournament.
I remember that. Yeah.
Breeze faces Hideo Itami again at the event NXT TakeOver Revival in another losing effort. So Tyler Breeze, he is still being involved in the title with these number 1 contendership match, but he doesn't seem to be winning the big matches here. He's losing to Hideo Itami.
Telling you, that's my boy Corner Reeves right now. I'm just saying.
Well, let's hope Tyler Breeze can recover. Just like Kona Reeves, let's hope Tyler Breeze can recover from this. At the event, NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. So once again, Tyler Breeze being involved in these main pay-per-view matches. On May 20th, Breeze loses once again to Finn Balor in a number 1 contendership match for the NXT Championship, but still making on these major NXT TakeOver pay-per-views. On July 16th, William Regal announces that Tyler Breeze will face, and I think I might be butchering his name, international superstar Jushin Thunder Liger at the NXT
I remember this.
TakeOver event, Brooklyn number 1. And unfortunately, Breeze would lose to Liger in his only appearance in NXT. So Tyler Breeze having to put over this international talent who ended up not being a part of NXT. But yeah. Did you ever see this match, Kyle?
I did. It was an interesting match because Jushin Thunder Liger was I didn't know how he's going to do in this match, but Tyler Breeze definitely carried most of the match. That's for sure.
He's a Japanese wrestler, right?
Yeah. He wrestled back in
go.
WCW too.
Oh yeah, I think I remember him. All right, so On October 7th, 2015, Breeze wrestles his very last match in NXT at NXT TakeOver Respect in a losing effort to Apollo Crews. Yeah, Apollo Crews. Sorry. Because, hey, Vince shortened his name. I was like, is it really Apollo? So, yeah. So, Tyler Breeze, once again, being involved in these major pay-per-view matches, even though he lost to put over Apollo Crews. It was then announced later that night, actually, right after the pay-per-view, that Breeze was being promoted to the main roster, and you guys may have actually seen it because it was featured in the WWE Network exclusive show WWE Breaking Ground. So it was actually featured on that show that Tyler Breeze, after the NXT event, was moving on to the main roster. So that was him in NXT. Kyle, are you ready to see how well Tyler Breeze does in the main roster?
I don't know because I don't see him here now, so I'm thinking it's going to be bad.
Oh, boy. All right, let's get ready, guys. We're moving on to the main roster, Vince City. So here we go. October 22nd, 2015, Tyler Breeze makes his official main roster debut, being managed by Summer Rae in a segment of Miz TV attacking Dolph Ziggler. And here we go. On November 9th, Breeze makes his main roster wrestling match debut in a losing effort to Dean Ambrose in the first round of the World Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership tournament. So Kyle, Tyler Breeze already off to a bad start here. His debut match on the main roster loses. First match. This can't be good.
Yeah, not looking good. I remember this. I remember this well.
I remember watching this on live TV Monday Night Raw, and I remember seeing Tyler Breeze. I liked his gimmick, and it was the first round of this World Heavyweight Championship against Dean Ambrose. I was thinking to myself, I wasn't expecting Tyler Breeze to win the whole thing, but I was expecting him to at least win his first match in advance. You know what I mean? I was like, Dean Ambrose, he's already a major superstar. Why does he need to advance? And I was very clueless. Tyler Breeze losing to Dean Ambrose and losing his first match in the company. So, yikes. Afterwards, Breeze would continue his feud with Dolph Ziggler, ending in his first main roster pay-per-view win at Survivor Series. So at least he's winning his first pay-per-view match. Oh boy, this is where it takes a turn for the worse. Kyle, brace yourself. At the beginning of January 2016, Tyler Breeze would go on, and I actually did research, guys. This is actual fact. Tyler Breeze would go on a 34-match losing streak,
Yikes.
ending in March 8th with a win over Zack Ryder on an episode of WWE Main Event. So, Kyle, let's go ahead and take a moment to talk about this. 34-match losing streak.
I mean, it's
what the hell happened?
It's no Kurt Hawkins, but it's definitely like another superstar goes on the slide after being called up. What else is new?
All right, so for those of you guys who don't know, I mean, this story was never confirmed, but from what I hear actually happened, is supposedly, this is a story I heard. So supposedly the story goes that Tyler Breeze, he was at a house show that WWE was having. Tyler Breeze was not on the show. He was not scheduled to have any type of match. Bear in mind, Tyler Breeze is still kind of a rookie. He just came from NXT. And Tyler Breeze went up to one of the management guys. He says, hey, I'm not on the card for tonight's house show. Can I just leave early to, get an early start to drive to the next town for the next event? And the person who he spoke to said, yes, you can go. What had happened later on was a superstar got injured, and they said, okay, a superstar got injured. They're not going to be able to perform in the match. We need someone to take his place. Where's Tyler Breeze? And essentially someone said Tyler Breeze left, and the management person got offended because obviously he did not know that Tyler Breeze got permission from someone else that he could leave. And supposedly this looked bad in management that supposedly you're supposed to wait until the entire show is over in order to leave. Unless you're someone like Cena or AJ Styles or someone big, you're not allowed. It's frowned upon. You should not be leaving an event until the whole thing is over in case they need you to substitute in for a match. So a lot of people are saying that this is what led to Tyler Breeze's downfall, that he pissed off the wrong people. But if this story is true, then it's really not Tyler Breeze's fault. He got permission from someone that he could leave, and I don't know. But guys, I mean, Kyle's numbers don't lie. 34-match losing streak. Holy hell.
Yikes.
So.
Yikes.
So that is the rumor story on how Tyler Breeze went down. But will he ever be able to recover? Let's see. We move on to the 2016 Royal Rumble match. Breeze enters in at number 4 and is eliminated in 1 minute, 18 seconds by none other than Roman Reigns, who will go on to... yeah. Sorry, guys, but it's true. At WrestleMania 32, Breeze enters the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, but is eliminated by the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. So Breeze not getting involved in these major matches at pay-per-views. Where is he going with this? April 28, 2016. Tyler Breeze forms a team with R-Truth, because why not? He's doing nothing else. On May 12th, after Breeze and Truth defeats the team of Fandango and Goldust, a double turn would occur with both Breeze and Fandango turning on their respective tag team partners, R-Truth and Goldust after the match, and Breezango is officially born. Ooh,
Jesus.
Kyle. It sounds pretty bad right now.
It sounded good at first, but then I already know what happened.
Let's see where this goes. At the Money in the Bank 2016, Breezango loses their first pay-per-view match as a team. Good Lord. And they lose to the Golden Truth after suffering a kayfabe burns from Goldust turning their tanning machines on too high. My goodness. This is what creative is coming up with, Kyle. So a new team is formed. They lose their first match. Why are they doing this? July 19, 2016, Tyler Breeze, as part of Breezango, gets drafted 49th overall to SmackDown Live during the brand extension draft. On August 2016, Breezango enters the SmackDown Live Tag Team Tournament to crown the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions in the new era, but were eliminated in the first round by American Alpha. So as a team, they're not doing so well, Kyle.
No, the American Alpha are my boys too, man. I love them, and a lot of people know about my background here. I have That's Ready, Willing, and Gable towel.
They were such a good team. Did they need to be split up? No,
absolutely.
Did they need to be put in different teams? Chad Gable went on with Shelton Benjamin.
No.
Jason Jordan went on with Seth Rollins.
And now then Jason Jordan may never come back.
I know. The curse of the draft. And as soon as Chad Gable started to make a groove with Shelton Benjamin, and that was a good group, he gets split up again in the Superstar Shakeup, and now he's in another tag team with Bobby Roode. I don't get it.
Terrible. Just terrible. It's garbage.
Oh, my gosh. Bobby Roode, man, I feel bad for that guy. Wait until we get to the spotlight for that guy.
Rest in peace.
Oh, boy. All right. Things might look up for Breezango, Kyle, because November 8th, Breezango defeats Vaudevillains to qualify for Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. But they get eliminated first in the match.
Yep, I remember that.
They qualify for Team SmackDown. They get eliminated first. I remember this because they're throwing out all these tickets, these fashion tickets, and they get eliminated first.
Yeah.
But things are looking up, Kyle. Don't worry about Breezango, because April 25th, 2017, it only took about 6 months, but Breezango would defeat the Ascension in a Beat the Clock challenge to become the #1 contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It would be at this moment that they would officially turn babyface, if you could believe it or not. But
Well then.
Sad news, Breezango would be defeated by the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, at the 2017 Backlash pay-per-view. Kyle, if you remember, this is when they started becoming a kind of a comedic act, and Tyler Breeze dressed up as a janitor. Do you remember that?
Yep.
During the match?
I remember that vaguely.
So they're starting to turn on the comic relief and whether you hate it or you love it. May 30th, 2017. The Fashion Files debuts to very popular fan praise. The segment has since produced 20 episodes, but has since gone on hiatus after Breezango was drafted to Monday Night Raw during the 2018 Superstar Shakeup. A little bit of a bonus here. I heard rumor, guys, that Vince McMahon did not like the Fashion Files. He did not get it. He didn't get what was so funny about it, and there was a time where Fashion Files actually stopped airing on SmackDown Live. But due to negative fan reaction of fans wanting Fashion Files and always tweeting out, "Where's Fashion Files? Where's Fashion Files?" And I kid you not, and this is actual fact, SmackDown Live ratings actually decreased every single week that Fashion Files was not on the show. Vince McMahon had no choice but to put Fashion Files back on the air. So another example of Vince not getting it. And, well, he put it back on the air because, hey, he cares about the ratings, if you could believe that.
Right.
At the Money in the Bank 2017 pay-per-view, Breezango defeated The Ascension. I was not going to put this on the list of my notes. The only reason why I put this on my notes is because the reason why it happened. So, Kyle, if you can remember this, Breezango faced The Ascension because Tyler Breeze randomly got attacked in the back. And it was this big storyline, kind of like Aleister Black. He got attacked in NXT. And there was this big mystery on who attacked Tyler Breeze. And they said that it was going to be revealed at Money in the Bank. And The Ascension came out, and it was like crickets in the arena. People were like, really? The Ascension is the one who attacked Tyler Breeze? Are you serious? This whole storyline ended with The Ascension. And the week after that, with such negative reaction, they actually said The Ascension didn't do it. The Ascension ended up saying, oh, we made it up just to get on the main card of Money in the Bank. Until this day, guys, it has never been revealed who attacked Tyler Breeze. They've always brushed it off. It's never been revealed who attacked Tyler Breeze. And it's just another mystery that will never be revealed. So there we go. On November 19th, 2017, Breezango would lose to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Survivor Series on the pre-show. So these guys are now on the pre-show now. In December, at Clash of Champions pay-per-view, Breezango would lose to the debuting Bludgeon Brothers, but at least they made it onto the main card. And back to the pre-show on 2018 Fastlane, Breezango and the brand new Deputy Sheriff Ty Dillinger, good lord, defeated Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, and Mojo Rawley. At WrestleMania 34, Tyler Breeze enters the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, but was eliminated 7th by Shelton Benjamin. On April 16th, Tyler Breeze, as part of Breezango, was drafted to Monday Night Raw during the 2018 Superstar Shakeup. All right, Kyle, we get to our last bit of notes here. I do this with every single spotlight. I have a little section called Last Update, so we're going to talk about what Tyler Breeze has recently been up to. Are you ready to hear what Tyler Breeze has recently been up to, Kyle?
I am ready, Michael. I am ready.
Okay.
And just to be the Debbie Downer here, I unfortunately have to go. So I'm going to let you end the show off. I apologize.
Gotcha. No.
He's going to end the show off, guys, but I'm going to give you my my honest opinion here of him getting a promotion or demotion.
Oh, wait, hold on 1 minute. I think you're running the speaker account, so if you get off...
That's okay. It will. I'll turn it off from my phone. It will count. Just do that intro, and then you'll be able to log off, and then there'll be no sound. It'll work.
Okay.
I've tried it before. Anyways, my final promotion, he gets the demotion. Obviously, there's no way he gets a promotion. He needs to come back to NXT. There's so much more moves he can do with NXT, and so much more wrestlers he can wrestle with in NXT right now. They can do a lot with him. So I give him my final mark of demotion, and I'll pass the reins off to Michael. He'll end off the show, guys. So I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next week for the Lowdown Show NXT episode number 6. So, Michael, take it away with the spotlight with Tyler Breeze.
Gotcha. So, guys, we're at the ending segment here where I give a last update. It actually involves NXT. So, too bad that Kyle has to leave. And I understand that Kyle has to leave, guys. This is a long segment. But Tyler Breeze has a long history with WWE. So, this is the last update of Tyler Breeze. So, after a leg injury to Tyler Breeze tag team partner Fandango, Breeze has since gone solo, returning back to his old model character and dropping his Fashion Files gimmick. So for any of you who are big fans of the Fashion Files, sadly it's been put on hold. And I always liked Tyler Breeze's model gimmick, so I'm kind of glad that he's gone back to it. He's still acting as a babyface, so we'll see where this goes. The last time Tyler Breeze appeared on Monday Night Raw was him being attacked by Kevin Owens before their scheduled match. And he's most recently been appearing at several NXT live events. He had a match with Ricochet, which I heard was very good. He had a match with Lars Sullivan, and there was a video that they aired on WWE.com. They had a WWE Fallout with Tyler Breeze, and Tyler Breeze said it was. They asked him how was it being back with NXT, and he said it was great. And he actually plugged the fact that he said that there are several new talents that he wants to wrestle, and he said that he heard that there's a new title, aka the North American Championship, and that he might have to get in on that. So is that a clue? Is Tyler Breeze coming back to NXT? I'm hoping so. And what else here? And the very last time he was actually seen on actual WWE television was a match last week on WWE Main Event with a win over the 2017 Andre the Giant Battle Royale winner, Mojo Rawley. Yikes, what has Mojo Rawley been doing since then? So, guys, I will go ahead and do it for the spotlight. That's everything that Tyler Breeze has done. What do you guys think about Tyler Breeze? And I also have another section, guys, the accomplishments. This is going to be fast. So as far as NXT, Tyler Breeze, unfortunately, has never won any titles. In WWE, sad enough, Tyler Breeze has once again not won any titles. So I would love to see Tyler Breeze as the United States champion. I would love to see him as the Intercontinental champion. And to be completely honest, Tyler Breeze is not doing anything right now, honestly. And I think you might think it's a bad idea or a good idea. I think he would be better off just for a little bit going over to 205 Live. Now, I've checked. Tyler Breeze weighs 215. However, if you guys saw 205 Live this week, which I did not, but the big news coming out here is that Mike Kanellis made his debut with his hot wife, Maria Kanellis, and last I checked, it said that Mike Kanellis weighed over 205. So maybe he lost weight just like Buddy Murphy. But if they're going to do that, why can't Tyler Breeze be in 205 Live? I think his character works there. He would be a lot better. And I can picture him as the Cruiserweight champion. So, guys, let me know what you guys think. At this point, I'm going to tell you guys what I think, whether Tyler Breeze deserves a demotion or promotion. Kyle was down with the demotion. And I'm going to agree with Kyle. So, guys, based off the facts, I'm giving you my facts right now. Tyler Breeze, and in my NXT review section in his spotlight, Tyler Breeze was involved in several main events of NXT TakeOver pay-per-views. He was involved with the NXT Championship on several occasions, getting several title matches. Compared to the main roster, I do not remember the last time that Tyler Breeze was given a solo title match. Okay, he was involved with the Tag Team Championships against the Usos with Fandango as part of Breezango, but I do not remember the last time Tyler Breeze got to compete for the Intercontinental Championship. I do not remember the last time Tyler Breeze got a shot at the United States Championship. And he deserves. He's a good wrestler. I really like his gimmick. There's no other gimmick like this one on WWE right now. It's interesting. I love the selfies. So for that, the fact that he got several more opportunities in NXT, I'm going to go ahead and give him a demotion. So there it goes with Tyler Breeze. So guys, that will come to the end of the show. Cuba Girl 125 in the chat says she thinks promotion. So yeah, like I said, Cuba Girl, I got to weigh it the fact that Tyler Breeze got more opportunities in NXT. He got, like I said, sorry to repeat myself, he was involved in major title matches with the NXT main championship. So he was involved in almost every NXT TakeOver pay-per-view that he was involved with. And now on the main roster, he's barely making it onto the pay-per-views. He's barely being shown on actual TV, unless you count main events. And I do not remember the last time this guy was given an actual title shot. So for that matter, got to go with the demotion here. Cupid Girl 125. So there you go, guys. That will go ahead and do it for NXT Superstar Call-Up Spotlight. And next week, we will have it again. Right now, it's on random. So, guys, get to us on Twitter at No Holds Barred Network, and also No Holds Barred the NXT. Go ahead and DM us or tweet us on who you want the superstar for next week to be the main spotlight on. So guys, get at me. Otherwise, it's going to be random next week. So, guys, I will go ahead and do it for our show. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone involved in the chat room, everyone who stopped by, Cuba Girl 125, Tiffany, Brandy, and Datila. Thank you for everyone who tunes in. Thank you for everyone who tunes in every single week. Guys, we have several shows. We have an NXT UK that talks about the UK events, indie wrestling in the UK as well. as Kyle talked about, the show will actually air for NXT UK. So it's been run by Craig Messy, and he has a rotation of hosts, and he's doing a real great job. He has interviews with independent wrestlers on his show, and guys, go ahead and check it out. Because Craig does it from the UK, it's actually kind of random on which day he does it. He tries to do it on either Monday and Tuesday, but this week there was no show due to the fact that Craig suffered an injury. We hope he's doing better. He sent out a tweet that he is doing better, but yeah. So Craig, hope you're feeling better, man. And Craig will also be involved in the Mae Young Classic review that me and Kyle will be involved in, and we're talking about which day we're going to have it. We might have it tomorrow, guys, so no promises. But, yeah, Mae Young Classic review tomorrow. We'll send out a tweet for that. We also have a review show for the main roster that's reviewed by Tyler Jones, Corporate Cappy, and, of course, the main event, Maharaja Brian, where they talk about the main roster. Respect to those guys. I don't know how they do it. But, yeah, it airs every single Thursday. So, guys, check it out. If you guys watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, any major pay-per-views, go ahead and give them a listen. It airs every single Thursday. And, of course, for us, it's the NXT review. We do it every single Wednesday except for this week because Kyle was out of town for this week, so we had to move it over to Saturday. So that'll go ahead and do it for our show, guys. Once again, thank you for everyone who tuned in. Check out our other shows. Check us out on Twitter at No Holds Barred Network, and of course, No Holds Barred, the NXT. Send us the questions every single week, guys. We read it out live on the air, and of course, once again, thank you to our sponsor. So, guys, I'll go ahead and do it for our show, and guys, that'll go ahead and do it because I don't have the outro because Kyle left. So, guys, that'll do it for our show. Guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Cease.